Smallpox has been eradicated from the earth, polio has been eradicated from North America, with people in other countries now being treated, insulin is able to control diabetes, and vaccines exist to fight tetanus, anthrax, and rabies. This is a short list of the many medical breakthroughs that have been made possible due to research and the animals involved in it. The modern animal rights movement is said to have started in the 1970s, although some historians note that it dates back to the times of the philosophers. The debate on animal rights includes whether or not animals are entitled to the basic rights that humans are. In this speech, I am going to specifically address the topic of animal testing in labs. Many scientists believe that animal testing is necessary to treat illness, while animal rights advocates argue that it is detrimental to the animals. I'm sure many of us have gone to a sport practice and been sore afterwards, or maybe even some of you have seasonal allergies. While you might have not known, there is a huge chance that these medications that you take were tested on animals to make sure that they were safe for you. Had they not been given to animals first, you could have experienced devastating side effects, and we have animals to thank for making sure that drugs are safe for consumption. I researched the debate on animal testing for several months in order to develop a research thesis and report for my English class. Due to my extensive studying of this topic, I believe that animal testing is necessary as long as it is used for medical purposes and until there is a fully viable alternative. In this speech, I am going to specifically touch on the benefit that animal testing has to both humans and the animal, the regulations set on animal testing, and why animal testing is currently necessary. The process of animal testing has served to benefit humans by providing huge medical breakthroughs that have served to save millions of lives. Research with cows helped create the first vaccine which helped to end smallpox, as I stated in the introduction. Studies with mice, dogs, and rats led to the polio vaccine. Drugs have been made that help fight cancer, HIV and AIDS, Alzheimer's, hepatitis, and malaria, which would not have been possible without the use of primates. According to the Foundation for Biomedical Research, since 1900, animal testing has aided in raising the average lifespan by 30 years. In 2015, the infant mortality rate was measured at 5.87 deaths per 1,000 live births, down significantly from the 55 infant death per 1,000 live births in 1935. Many animal rights advocates argue that medical research is unnecessary as a healthy lifestyle will prevent any disease. Many diseases such as breast cancer and Parkinson's disease are genetic, and animal research is necessary to provide these benefits since a healthy lifestyle alone cannot solely prevent the disease. Not only does this type of testing benefit human lives, but it serves essential in the discovery and treatment of animals' lives as well. Adrian Morrison is a professor of behavioral neuroscience and a veterinarian at Penn Vet. He identifies himself as an animal lover. According to Penn Today, as of 2009, Morrison still supports testing to avoid serious consequences for both animals and humans. By researching on animals, we are able to study and find treatments for these diseases in humans, as well as treating and preventing the same diseases in the pets we love, such as H1N1 and rabies. As a veterinarian, Adrian Morrison would have the best interests for our pets in mind, which is why we should take his word that if he believes that animal testing is necessary to save their life. One of the most common hesitations that both animal rights advocates and even researchers have is that animals are being harmed during the testing process. This is a valuable concern, yet there are many regulations put in place that help animals from being harmed during research. According to NAVS.gov, the Animal Welfare Act, or AWA, passed in 1966, vigilantly enforced to ensure the well-being of animals that are being tested on in labs. Also, the Animal and Plant Inspection Service, APHIS, enforced standards of animal husbandry, record-keeping, research protocols, and veterinary care. They make sure that animals get medical care, have food, enough space, etc. in the lab. They inspect research facilities on unannounced visits, so they're accurate, which protect from cover-up of unethical practices since there is no scheduled date. Due to these strict enforcements that regulate the treatment of animals in research facilities, some of our concerns are unwarranted. While alternatives to animal testing exist, many animals are the only viable method available that successfully mimic the full functions of the human body. Due to this, animals in research is necessary until capable substitutes can be developed. One example of a substitute is in vitro research. This attempts to use human cells in test tubes to conduct research. Activists argue that this is the best form of research as there is no better way to test for humans than on human cells. This is a valid argument, but in vitro, there are limitations to vitro cell testing. In vitro, cell structures are not able to tell scientists the effects that a drug will have on the entire human body, as the National Institutes of Health states. Currently, animals are the only method of research available that are able to provide medical breakthroughs by mimicking the full functions of the human body. Until other methods of testing are developed and can yield similar results, animal testing should be continued. While Adrian Morrison, the professor and veterinarian I talked about early in the speech, knows that the most militant animal rights advocates can't be reasoned with, he is confident that if others are educated on the policies and benefits of animal research, they would realize that it is essential to human safety. Melissa Etheridge, previous animal rights advocate that posed nude for PETA, is one of these animal rights advocates. She contracted breast cancer and withdrew her support for animal testing by making the statement, "I do believe in animals losing their lives to eradicate cancer and AIDS from our lives," in a magazine called The Advocate. Etheridge is a perfect example of an animal rights advocate that started supporting animal testing after gaining knowledge and experience. Many can follow her footsteps once they realize that animal testing is beneficial to every party involved, both the human and non-human. Although animal testing is thought to be an unethical practice, it is ultimately a necessary evil whose benefits are showcased in our everyday lives through the medications we take and the medical treatments we may undergo. In order to support our future generations and the health of our families and children, animal testing should be continued if they are to have access to these life-changing medications and treatments. Thanks to the animals used in testing, our world has eradicated smallpox, polio has been eradicated from North America, and vaccines have been developed to fight against rabies, anthrax, and tetanus. Until a viable alternative comes into play that can provide the same levels of success, the continuance of animal testing for medical research is a given if we wish to put the rights of our family and the loved ones that we have as our top priority. Thank you.